assess this training camp experience so far?
It's been good, man. Coach has gotten us, up and down the floor. We've been getting after it. Guys been competing, but it's been fun. Trying going through plays and figuring stuff out. And it's going to take some time, obviously, to get adjusted. But I think the biggest thing is, man, we really get along as a group. We want to compete. We want to win. We want to do things the right way. And you can see that from the coaching staff down to us, everybody. So it's been a good week. But excited to kind of play against somebody else after beating each other up for about a week and a half. And these guys have been here longer than me. So.
You just said it, you're beating each other up for the past week and a half. How anxious are you to beat somebody else up, so to speak?
It's exciting. Especially with a team like Philly. They're obviously last year they didn't get to where they want to get to, but they're a contender. They're a championship contender. I saw them play last night. Maxey's had a hell of a game and whatnot. But for us, it's a good way to get a test, to get a gauge, see where we're at, what we have to work on. Not put too much pressure on the game. Obviously, it's my first game here. I'm excited, but understanding that it is the preseason. But you're not coming in like it's a preseason game. You get ready, you get warmed up, you get locked in, go over things, and kind of just put what we've been working on to the test. And see how it goes.
You mentioned the pressure. Do you feel the pressure?
No. I think for me, the biggest thing is just trying to find ways to execute. I think that's the biggest thing with myself is executing. Whether the shots go in or don't go in, whether we make some mistakes on defense, on offense, whatever. But understanding that we got to just continue to build and work. It's not going to be all perfect tomorrow. We all know that. But understanding that we're trying to execute and trying to build upon our habits that we've worked on since the first day of training camp. But I don't feel the pressure. I'm excited. I think more than anything, excited to get out there and play. And got friends and family coming down as well, so it'll be good.
And any goals set as a team for this first game or for you individually?
Honestly, execution, working on being as perfect as we can. It's not going to be perfect right away, but understanding that just going out there and just play. And like I said, it's our first test against somebody else. So there's going to be good things out of it. There's going to be bad things we can look at and find ways to adjust. But I think as a team, just go out there and just do what we've been working on. And I think if we continue to do that, this is just one step of 4 or 5 different preseason games, and then we get right to it. So it'll be good to get film from a different team. I've been watching film against us, and we look really good defensively, but also being able to see how we fare against other teams and whatnot.
With the week of camp, what are you liking about you and Darius and just the way that you guys are building that connection so far?
I think him and I, we're very unselfish in a way where we try to help each other, and I think a lot of it, and sometimes it's too much, but not in a bad way. Sometimes we oversharing, and sometimes taking that shot is what's the best shot in that possession for us, as opposed to trying to get the one more, or on the defensive end, our communication, as much as I've been talking and sharing, giving my input, I know that's kind of been a theme as far as giving information of what I've seen. He's doing the same thing right back to me, and also to the group. And I think it's been seamless. There's things that we obviously can still work on and get better at. And like I said, it's good to go out tomorrow and play against different competition, against a really good Philly team, and see what we can build upon and get better at. But also, it's good to get a week under our belt and start to build all that and get better. And I think tomorrow will be a good test, and we'll build upon that.
What has stood out about Isaac to you during the camp?
He's strong. He's gotten stronger. I've played against him for, 3 years or whatever, twice a year, but he's gotten stronger. He's more confident, in my opinion. I haven't seen him outside of the games we've played, but he's a more confident player. Getting downhill in transition, taking the shots. Working on. He's one of the first guys in the gym. Working on his three-point game, trying to improve that aspect of his game, which just being able to see that, see the progression, see the work early, you trust. That builds a trust in itself without even having to play with him in practice. Just being able to see him in the gym, consciously working on it, reps after rep after rep. And he's in here like 2 hours before practice getting shots up. And, that's a credit to him. He wants to get better. He wants to put the time in and put the work in. And you see that, and you've seen it throughout camp.
How difficult can that battle between being too unselfish and the right amount of unselfish?
I think it's a good battle. When you use battle, I think it kind of comes off as a bad way. I think it's a good thing. I think it's we want to be great. We want to help each other be great. But sometimes being great is usually you're a bad dude too. Go ahead and attack, and I'm the same way. So like I said, we've had a good week, but it's only been a week. We have a good test tonight. We'll see how that goes and continue to build upon it. We understand where each other likes to get the ball, starting to figure those things out. And also just being vocal with each other, with our teammates, putting ourselves in positions. And like I said, when you get to see it, against a different team, how they're going to guard it. How's PJ Tucker going to guard pick and roll versus Joel or Matisse Thybulle or whatever. Like, that's what we get for these next 2 games. Then we play Atlanta. We figure out how they guard it. Like, seeing how we're guarded, see where we do, and how we fit in with each other as well as the group. That's where you build upon it. But right now, like I said, it's been good. It's constant communication, constant film work, finding ways to get better. And I'm excited for what we can be when we ultimately it starts with this past weekend and tomorrow.
I know Evan's out right now with that ankle, but how has the transition been for you personally, going from playing with one big guy in Rudy in Utah to now having 2 of those guys on the floor?
I think it definitely helps defensively, for sure, when you have guys that just clog up the lane, clog up passing lanes. But offensively, man, I'm speaking about Ev, he's a guy that gets the rebound. You can come play pick and roll with him where he's handling and I'm setting, or vice versa. DG setting, you're getting a switch now, you have a point guard on him. He can get his own shot, create his own shot, can do the little things, and he can impact the game without even really scoring and be the best player on the floor. I always tell him, I said, man, you have all the hard stuff. Like, you've been gifted with all the hard stuff, the easy stuff that he'll learn as he gets older and gets better. That's a blessing, and I think he sees that and understands that, and obviously it sucks not having him out there, but he'll be good and ready to go, and for him, he's got a long career in this league. He's a talented kid, and just to be able to be a part of that, part of his journey, and to be able to help, for myself, be able to come in and help, I'm excited.
Every single one of you guys have talked about conditioning and JB running you guys up and down the court. Do you think a week's enough? Do you think a week's enough to show that you guys are in shape, or is it going to take a minute?
It takes some time. Like there's in shape and there's game shape. You can run, you can do all that, and I think that helps for sure. I think, I went to Louisville, Rick Pitino, so I know all about running and running. So I understand that aspect. But then there's also the practice, getting it in live reps, which we've been doing as well. So it hasn't just been up and down, just sprints. It's been through practice, through game situations, through execution, finding ways to execute when you're tired, finding ways to execute when you're getting bumped and being physical. And like I said, it isn't going to just translate to tomorrow. It isn't just going to come out and just be seamless. There are going to be things that we have to improve on, but that comes with training camp, that comes with the preseason's for, going out there and finding ways to execute. And we're all going to be hyped up. We're going to be excited. It's our first time playing against another group, but I think the conditioning has been good, and we've gotten after it. I'm not going to lie. We've probably the hardest training camp I've had, but I think it's a good thing. I don't look at it as a bad thing. We're going to be, we strive to be really good, and that's where it starts.
When you put that jersey on tomorrow night, you'll think you'll flash back to that little kid putting that jersey on.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's one of those things that hasn't hit. Honestly, to be honest with you, it really hasn't hit me that I'm here. It's like, wow, I'm here, but it really hasn't hit me that I'm here. Probably won't until the first home game. But it really hasn't hit me. Sometimes I'll catch myself in the house see my language like I'm really here. You know what I mean? And I think that's just it. It's exciting, And I think when I put that jersey on, get out there, play with these guys, it's hear your name called and whatnot. It'll be different, but it's exciting. It's a new beginning, it's a new step, and I'm excited for it.
How many friends and family are going to be there?
I don't know. They tend to, on the East Coast trips, they tend to pop up and they be like, "Hey, I'll be there." 20 minutes before the game, I'm gonna answer my phone. But it'll be fun. Yeah, I know. Obviously, my mom will be there. I have friends I grew up who have courtside seats and whatnot. So there'll be a bunch there, but there'll definitely be people that just come up and hit me right before the game, be like, "Hey, I'm there." And I'm like, "Sorry, I don't got any tickets for you," but it'll be exciting.
You haven't yet. You've had a little bit of time to get acclimated on the court, off the court here. Is there something about this city and this organization that's really stuck with you and made it feel like a really good fit so far?
Yeah, it's a family atmosphere. It's a community atmosphere, and what I mean by that is where everybody's close. I just met DG's mom the other night, and she's like, "Man, whatever you need." Ev's mom as well. We went to the Browns game, and DG and I weren't the only ones there. Ev and Isaiah and Isaac and those guys. Everybody was up in the suite hanging out together. That's the feel I get, and it's similar to the vibe we had in Utah, where everything was close and everybody was close on the team. So it makes a transition like this 2 weeks before training camp much easier, when you understand that guys want to be around each other, guys, and enjoy each other's company. That way, when you get on the floor, things you can talk a certain way, you can hold each other accountable, and it helps. But off the floor, man, I don't do much. I stay at the house, play Xbox probably hours upon hours in between practices. But as far as getting out in the community, once season probably starts and then basketball season starts, I know I will be at a bunch of local games, whether it's high school, college and whatnot, kind of watching basketball around the country. That's why I enjoy doing, just being able to just get around town and see all those things. I haven't done that quite yet. I did a commercial shoot actually at where was it? St. Edward's High School? Is that St. Edward's High School? Yeah. And that was great. The kids were all there, kind of outside watching, and it was cool. And it's just one of those things, just to be able to be in the community. That's something I really enjoy doing. And like I said, once basketball season starts and whatnot, I'll be up and around and watching.
Donovan, you had mentioned a lot that you're going to embrace this defensive.
Say again?
You mentioned a lot you're going to embrace this defensive mentality, this team. And
Yeah.
you guys really do have the potential to be explosive on offense. Do you see the Cavs being one of the most balanced teams in the league this year on just both ends?
I think we can be. I think we can be for sure, but ultimately we got to go out there and put the work. I think we have that potential to do that. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, that's what we are. We haven't proved that yet. We're a new group. We have to go out there and prove it on a day-to-day basis. I think we have the potential to be that, and like I said, it's not going to be seamless. This isn't going to just be like, all right, here we are. I think defensively, I personally feel like our defense will be ahead of our offense because defense it carries. You could have a bad shooting night, you could have turned the ball over, but at the end of the day, your defense is what will carry every night. We'll be there every night. You can control that, your effort, your intensity, your hands, your activity, whatever it may be, and then the offense will follow. And I think that tends to happen when you have guys coming from new places or new faces or whatever. So we have the potential to be a really balanced team on both ends of the floor, but I think this week has shown that we're a really good defensive team, and our offense will continue to build and get there. But we have the potential to be really good on both sides of the ball, but we got to go out there and do it on a nightly basis.
And you are the new face in camp, and having guys like Howell and Ricky and even Antonio on the coaching staff, has that made your transition from Utah to Cleveland a lot easier?
Yeah, for sure. When terminology, I think, is Quinn Snyder's strong suit. He has names, like I said before, that are different for everything, and coming here, understand everything's the same. It's just different terms. So when you hear something, Peel is different in Utah than it is here. So understanding that, like Tone's been great, and Ricky and Raul, they've been great at being like, no, that's where you got to be here, got to be there. And then also DG, has kind of been like, no, this is where it is, this is where you got to be, before Coach even has to say anything. And then when Coach tells you, you start. So when you have like 4, 5, 6 people able to communicate and helping you out, like it really helps for myself and understanding that where I need to be and how to go about the schemes and whatnot.